Okay, because the weather is so bad lately, yay winter, and because I have written 4 unpublished books, one day I will succeed. I thought it would be fun to design covers for one of them. If you didn't know, before starting my writing journey, I majored in graphic design at university, so hopefully I can whip up something good. I'm definitely late to the Halloween trend, but it's November and in my heart I believe we should be celebrating spooky season longer than we do in the UK. First, I want to look at some designs, but because it's so miserable outside and I don't want to go to a bookstore, I thought we could look through my shelf. There's a good amount to choose from here, I think. Also, does anybody else decorate their shelves with Lego? If so, comment what it is. I'd love to know. I have some older designed books and some more modern variants. I think I'll sort some into a pile for us to look at together. I love album art and music for inspiration. It's a great way to get new ideas. If anybody knows what album this is, comment down below. So, I have 5 books here. I tried to pick designs I think I could replicate pretty well with the resources I have. I'm not a fantastic illustrator, but I'm alright in Photoshop and Figma, so we'll see what we can do. So the first book we have here is I Am Legend, and the reason I love this is the art style's very retro. It has a lovely blur to it, the back's very simple, and the colours are quite vibrant. I love the way that the title matches the hues of the imagery, and I just think it's got a fantastic simplicity. So this next book, Nocturnus, is absolutely fantastic, and it's got a very modern design. It has this cutout picture frame kind of vibe in the middle with this illustrated vinyl record player. Again, the back's very simple, and those covers too are simple, but I do love the double imagery that you can see in that window. It looks like a moon and an ocean, but it is clearly a vinyl record. One of my favourite authors and favourite books. This one is so simple. It has an illustrated sword on the front. It has some lovely text details down the side. It has a nice background for the main title. Again, the back and spine's very simple too. Yeah, I love this one. I think it could be easily replicated. One of the last books here is Haruki Murakami's 1Q84. This has such a vintage vibe about it. It has some fantastic colours that pop out, a lot of translucence. I think the pink and the yellow stand out amazingly from the books that are inside. However, I just want to look at the overall design here. And I do absolutely love this little noise, like paper texture, that is on the book covers. I think it brings everything together. And it's also big and bold, so I think this is one that we're going to copy. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, this has a vibe of clip art. Like, you could take any image from the internet, cut it out, kind of make a book cover about it. However, what is fantastic about this is that the circles, the circular imagery all connects on each of the book covers. It's an interesting one. I think for me it's a good abstract pick. I think we could learn something from this. However, I don't think it's a style that we're going to go for today. Oh my god, the dust, I'm so sorry about that. That is not good. But I do love this one too. So here is the plan. I'm going to make 3 designs, 1 modern, 1 vintage, and 1 abstract. Let's go. Before we begin, I just wanted to show you that I have been creating book covers for the works that I'm creating right now. They all have a similar vibe of using imagery from Unsplash, a fantastic website. A lot of different kind of designs. You got a western, you have more of like a pulp fiction, and one that we're going to focus on here today, which is a horror. Yay Halloween. But I do have a background in graphic design, as I've been saying, and I do this in my spare time. However, today I think I want to try to break the trends that I've been focusing on and try and do something a little different stylistically and see what we get out of it. So alongside 3 art boards right here, over to the left we have our chosen books. I'm thinking it's going to go pretty well. So I'll probably speed this footage up just a little bit and kind of walk you through my thought process at the time. So onto our modern design here, I'm going to be using a website called Unsplashed, which hosts licensed images for free. There are also paid versions. Support your local artist. Right here, I'm trying to search for some farmhouses. I come across one with a sign, however, I don't have the tools to remove the wording, so I'm trying to seat it into the frame to see how it kind of looks and probably add some text around it in a second to make sure that I have the positioning right. But I do find another image that I think fits the vibe a little more. Now, this isn't a farmhouse per se, but it is a creepy shack, and this book is quite creepy. So, kind of fits the tone, fits it a bit more than the kind of westerny shack that I was looking at before. Here I'm playing with the background and I kinda have this idea of inverting the design of Nocturnus. How I'm going to do that is by introducing colour within the frame where the image is and having the background kind of dark. So we'll see how that goes. By introducing the text right now, I'm seeing how it all fits on the page in the design. Just making sure that everything is, I don't know, I guess like seated properly. There's the rule of 3 where everything should be on the page, you know, so it looks quite pleasing to the eye. Guess I'm doing that. It's been a long time since I've been at university, so bear with me. I'm trying to put a frame around the image right now. I'm doing this because right now the image is kind of sat atop the background. It looks like 2 separate elements. By introducing a stroke or a frame to it, I'm hoping that it kind of looks like it's situated in the design rather just lying on top of it. To do this, I'm introducing this hand-drawn stroke, so it looks a bit crooked, it looks like a window. It looks very natural and not just like one bold line. As you can see here, the colour I think already is working for me. It maybe looks odd with the white text, but we will be fixing that later. One thing you'll find with these designs is that the quotes really bring it all together. It unifies it all. Having them there fills in the negative space that would be, I guess, just left over if the title hung at the top of the book design. It works really well, but I think I say this later on. This is why book cover designers are key. If you're self-publishing, you either got to learn it yourself, you got to look at inspiration, or you got to get someone to do it for you, because the covers are what sell. And as you can see here, by tying the text into the orange image, which I'll put on the screen right now, I think we have a winner with this cover. I think it draws amazing inspiration, and I think we have nailed it. Okay, why does nobody talk about how hard it is to record your voice? It's terrible, I'm getting used to it, so I hope you're holding on. Okay, so on to the next design. So this is our vintage design, and for this one I was really taking inspiration from I Am Legend. I got this sewer pipe image and I thought it would work really well as a framing device for another, and I did find this dining room table which I absolutely loved. I end up messing about with this a little bit by duplicating another layer with the same image just to kind of make it a bit out of focus. I feel that works very well with the sewer pipe overlaid on top as this double exposure to make it look like an overexposed film. Now, when adding the text onto the image, again, I'm finding that what really sells this and unifies the design are the little details, such as the quotes and also the bolding of the author's name, which sits just above the title. I guess what I'm saying here is the people that design book covers know what they're doing, so make sure to study up because that's how you get good at this. especially if you're self-publishing. So what I'm noticing is that the author name and Lovebug is getting a bit overshadowed by the background, so I want to add a blur to it. By doing this, it just makes sure that we can read it correctly, changing the colour of the text as well, in line with the colours you can see in the background. Really makes it pop and unifies the design again. There's that word again, unify. I've been saying that a lot. Someone counts up the times in the comments or something. I'm really loving this design. I think it's... I really do think it takes inspiration from the I Am Legend book by Masterworks. I'm also going to add a publishing name called Frogbert Publishing. That was a YouTube channel that I was going to post this video on, however, I do not know why I chose that name, so forget about it. It is just a fun little inside joke for all of us. Now onto the abstract book cover. Now this is taking inspiration from 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and to do that we need to find a chunky text font, yes. So I do find one eventually, and I'm thinking that this gothic style can really, if we enlarge it, essentially be the book cover. I want to rely little on the imagery in the background for this, to try and create that funky kind of abstract design that we're looking for. Trying to split up the words, it didn't really work. You want to be able to read the title, and it was so unreadable, so I kind of turn it on its side. I mess around with this a bit more during the process and come to a compromise between the two, I would say. The eye design was cool. Again, I was coming to a double exposure effect. However, I soon find an image of an ocean which is very sparkly. I think this fits far better, even if the plot point it connects to in the book is rather small compared to the eye, the dining room table, or the first modern book cover. So I'm really trying to play around with this kind of 3D effect with the font, and I'm doing this by overlapping 4 text layers and using the screen overlay option. By messing around with this, it kind of makes a translucent kind of overlappy feel, I guess. I don't know the words. It's been years since I've been to university doing graphic design. I'm holding on to the skills but not the terminology. So messing around the colour, I absolutely love this red, pinky, orangey hue, and I think it works really well with the background because it stands out. I also love how the sparkles on the oceany lake ripple effect in the background stand out. It shines through the text. I think it looks beautiful. So looking here, I'm seeing if we can add a quote alongside the author name. I don't think it's necessary for this one, to be honest. I think the title and the image shines alone. I don't think there's much room to add one without it looking overcrowded. So I think we'll be leaving that out. But overall, I love this one. We've created 3 book covers, which is absolutely amazing. Our modern one, which I think hits the nail on the head. Very, very fantastic and takes inspiration from Nocturnus. I love how we inverted the design almost with the colour in the frame and then the background being quite dark. I love how the frame of the image is all like crooked and stuff. I don't know, I really like this one. It's great. I also love our vintage design here. I think it's very simple. I think the publishing stands out with the logo at the bottom. I love the blur in the background as well. It's very homely, but it's a bit creepy too. And this final abstract piece, like looking at this detail, I think is fantastic. Personally, I do very much enjoy it. I love how there's a bit of like texture to the word, and I think it hits on our designs that I'm showing you right now. Overall, I do think we achieved our goal. Would they be sellable book covers? I'm not sure. However, I think we hit the target. So let me know your thoughts, what you would do differently. I would be happy to do a more in-depth design, I guess, of another book that I've written and see where we can take it. I've been kind of loose with the commentary. This is the first time I'm doing a long-form commentary, kind of unedited, so we'll see how that goes. I do think I've come quite far from my first video already, so we'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.